Hi everybody, this is part 2 of the stacked pumpkins. I have already came in with a palette knife, and I just used a small palette knife, and what I did was I came in and I grabbed some black, but I mixed it with the salmon color and came in and just lightly let the palette knife do the work, and I lightly just bring it in around those shaded areas. And then same here, I used a little bit of black with that blue that I used and brought it into that shaded area. And then on the white pumpkin, I made kind of a lighter or a darker gray instead of straight black, and I brought them into the darker areas. And I need to work on that a little bit more here so you can see. You can use the tip of the knife or the edge of the knife to get in there and to get into any sharp areas, like right in here. So I'm just turning the knife on its edge like this and bringing it in like that. So once I do that, and I did this on all three. So once I did the dark, then I came in with pure white. Same thing, cover your knife, but I went on the highlighted areas. So the opposite side of everything. The opposite side of the dark, the shaded. Okay? And then I mixed a little bit of a lighter gray in there to go into like the medium, like this medium part here, because you got your highlights. We'll start out here. Your highlight, your shaded low light, and then in the middle of that section, you want a medium. So I did a lighter gray in between there. So just add some more white to that dark gray and get a little bit of a different kind of a medium gray. You want to bring that in. And you're just mixing them. Basically, you keep coming over top of them, you're layering, and that's the main thing here is you layer with your palette knife. And I'm going to come back in here, and then after I do that, I came back in with the original colors. Looks like I need a little bit more. The blue. And you could, now that I did the medium gray up there, but you come back in with the original color you start with, and that's what I'm using for that medium tone, because you're coming back in over top some of that white, over top some of that darker color, and you're basically making them mesh together, blend together. So I went a little bit dark over here, so I'm going to let that build up, and I'll bring some more white over top of that. So I want some more of that darker gray. I need more of a pop, so to speak. So I'm bringing that a little bit more, because this is very, very textured up here, and I'm kind of losing some of the texture down here. So I am going to bring that up into the pumpkin a little bit more here on the blue one, and then I'll probably bring in a little bit more on the bottom one as well. And I'm not worried about right down here, because we're going to have stuff sticking out of it, like there's things in between. Alright, so this and this. So this, I'm going to add a little bit of the original color back onto it, because I get a little crazy. That kind of toned it down. It's not so in your face. And I just tapped the knife on it. Now this side, I'm going to bring in the white a little bit. Oh, it's right here. I lost where I was. There. There, just like that. Just like that. I will need some more white here. There. That gives it a little bit more texture. This isn't too bad down here. We might add a little bit more of the gray. Maybe we need a little bit more black in that. Might have to turn it around just to get at those areas. Alright, I'm going to go a little bit darker, a little bit more black. There. That's better. And again, I'm tilting my knife on the edge to get that line. There's a spot there. So I'm liking the texture on everything so far. So that is so far with the palette knife. I might bring some more of that original color back in a little bit. So you can just play around with how much depth do you want, how much, how much texture do you want. That's totally up to you. But I'm kind of liking it. I really, really like it so far. And I think I'll leave it alone. So that will be it for part 2 on the texture. Let me bring it closer so you can see all the textures on there. So the part 3 will be, I'll be working the sunflowers, and stay tuned for that. Bye. Thanks, guys.